Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again once again. With just real talk, man. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to all of my fathers out there in the world today. This is your day. Enjoy it, salute it. I pray you don't get socks. I pray you don't get ties. I pray you get as much punani as you want to, and I pray that whatever you want, you get. We only get two holidays, gentlemen. Our birthdays and Father's Day. Women get Valentine's Day, they get Mother's Day, they get their birthday, they get Christmas, they get all the other shit. So Father's Day should be ours. And I want to say happy future Father's Day to myself. I ain't got no babies on the way that I know of, but hell, happy future Father's Day to all of my future fathers out there. But I wanted to get into something a little bit deeper than that. I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about how I feel black dads get a bad rap for being bad dads. I wrote it that way on purpose. But mine was not. Keeping it real. Senior is what we'll call him, because I'm a junior. I'll be honest with you. I'm named after my father. Senior. Let me give you a little insight on my history real quick. Parents, they decided they weren't working out. But about the time I was 10 years old, my brother was 12. My brother's got 2 years on me. We'll get to my OG in a minute. Separated, divorced. I went to go live with my mom. My brother stayed with my father while we were in Okinawa, Japan. So imagine my mother, very special woman to me, of course. She's everything to me. She had every right. She had every motivation on God's green earth to say anything and everything negative about my father. But she refused to say bad things about my dad in front of me. Granted, at the time, they weren't getting along at all. Trust me, his shit was not on the same page. Now they're very amicable, of course. But back then, trust me, it was not an easy trip, and it was not an easy boat. But she did not, under any circumstance, to say anything bad about my father in front of me. Maybe she said some shit to my grandmother. Maybe she said some shit to my auntie and other women in my life. But in front of me, she never talked bad about my dad. And that's where things get interesting in reference to my relationship with my African American father and the relationship that I see that my friends have with their fathers, aka which is non-existent. They don't know they dads. They have hatred and animosity towards their dad. Sometimes it's the mother who creates that animosity and hatred towards the dad. But we're not getting into that. We're gonna lift us up today, ladies and gentlemen. We lifting up black fathers today. Fuck that. All right, so look, my father taught me damn near everything that I know. Most of the things that I know. He taught me a lot about savings. You know, he's like, Doc, he's like, Mike, I call myself Doc, I don't know. Mike, Junior, whatever you want to call me. He like, you gotta save, man. Like, growing up, I gave you and your older brother everything, and he did. Trust me. My mother always said, again, the woman who had every chance to talk shit about my dad and didn't, she was like, yo, the only thing I can say is that man worked hard for y'all. When he was a lower listed soldier, my dad, 82nd Airborne, big salute to my military brethren out there. When he was a lower listed E-class soldier, he used to work double jobs, man. He used to referee on the weekend. Sometimes after work, he used to referee. Basically, they get paid a job to like do matches. I think he did basketball and I think he did wrestling. And he used to referee before he used to come home. This was almost every single night. My dad ended up getting out of the military as a Chief Warrant Officer 3. Awesome job, I guess, man. Everybody called him Chief, you know. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. My mom had every right, or I'm sorry, not every right, but she had every chance to talk shit about my dad and never did in front of me. That's why I commend her. And that's why I've learned to have a loving, respectful relationship with my father when we were not living together. Because that was a period of about, I want to say 8 years. I stayed with my mom until I moved to the Philippines to actually live with my dad to go to college and everything. So, like I said, father taught me about savings. He taught me damn near everything that I know. But I will not overlook the fact that my OG, my big brother, because he was also very intricate in my life from day one. That's my OG for life. Like, I ride or die, kill for the motherfucker. On God's side, yeah, anything he would ever ask, I got him. But my brother, though, it's a little different with my brother because my brother, he is the complete opposite of myself. I honestly can say YouTube has helped me to come out of my shell a little bit. I'm very talkative. I'm entertaining. I try my best to be. I hope you find me entertaining, and if you do, likes up on the video, of course. But my brother is a flashy dude, man. He's the life of the party, man. When he shows up, people notice. Back then, little brother, shy type, man. I kept to myself. I ain't say nothing. I'd be in the corner. I'd be chilling, right? So I was always very, not soft spoken, but I would not speak unless spoken to. You dig? So I was always Brandon's little brother in high school and shit. That's my brother's name, Brandon. Like I used to, that's B's little brother, you know? And I was cool with that because that man never let anybody get over on me. But where my brother transitioned from OG big brother status was when we was in the Philippines, right? Because I had no idea how to talk to Filipino women. But he had already had a year on me because he had graduated a year before me in high school, a couple years before me. And he moved to the Philippines before I got over there. So we had a couple years on me. So it was almost like in any situation, whether it be a group of us or not, he'd be like, yo, this is my little brother. This is my little brother Mike and whatnot. He'd be talking me up and shit, you know? He always put in a good word for the boy. And that was how I learned. I said, yo, man, he always gonna look out for you, boy. Always looked out for the homie. Because he always helped me get girls when I didn't know what I was doing. So everybody needs a big brother like that. When you don't have any idea of how to go about it, somebody who can help you navigate the game until you're able to put it together on your own, that works too. My father was the exact same way. My father was an old school pimp though. I call my brother my OG, but my father's an old school pimp though. He old school. He like the Obi-Wan. He did. If my brother Skywalker, he like the Obi-Wan. I'm not big on that Star Wars or Star Trek. Y'all gonna hate me for that. I'm not a big nerd on that shit. But whoever was the OG and whoever was the pimp, you know, the one in charge, that was my dad and that was my brother. So I took a little bit of what I learned from both of them and I was able to incorporate that into honing in on my own craft. Again, although my brother is not a father, he was like a father figure to me in reference to teaching me the game from that particular perspective. Taking time to sit down with a little brother and just have a dialogue with him, like, yo, man, taking time to understand I ain't like him and how I could navigate and maneuver this shit on my own. You understand? Even today, if I popped over to Japan, probably the same rules would apply. We're not getting into that. But anyways, I feel like black dads get a bad rap for being bad dads. But in truth, mine was nothing like that. Not absentee. Sometimes the absence is based upon mother's own doing. But my mama didn't keep me away from my father. I visited that man every summer until I graduated. Finally decided to move over there with him to the Philippines when I was 17. So, as I tell you my story and the people who were intricate in my life, I want you to understand, this is coming from life experiences, and the only thing that, if I really honestly had to tell you, the only thing that I think would set my mom off is if my dad start talking politics, because they on two different ends of the spectrum. I've explained that to you in detail before. If you don't remember, father's all the way one way, mother is all the way the other. Your boy is in the middle somewhere. That'll probably be the only thing that would create some animosity, is if they get into the talk of politics. And, you know, we try to keep that out of the conversation. I want y'all to understand that as it transitions into the idea of black fathers over mixed children, that's also a thing. Everybody wants to have this preconceived notion that black men are not good fathers. I specifically waited to have this particular conversation on Father's Day because I believe it's complete BS. I don't know what narrative you guys have been listening to. I don't know whose social media account you've been listening to. I don't know what worldstarhiphop.com website or so you guys have been listening to. But y'all got y'all facts all fucked up. And I don't like it. I ain't gonna front, man. I don't like the idea that people think that, oh, black men are known for abandoning their kids and shit. Nah, I ain't feeling that shit. Doc ain't feeling that shit at all. Alright? So don't hit me with that nonsense. In truth and in theory, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the way that a man is raised will definitely pay dividends to how he raises his own children. Again, if you were raised in a very strict household, I think that you'll do things quite the opposite of your father. If you grew up in a household where things were too loose, you might do the complete opposite. If you grew up where things were a balance between strict and, freedom, that might be a rhetoric in which you can follow. But don't sit there under any circumstances, look the good doc in the eye and tell me that, oh, all black men are bad fathers. They abandon their children. And I've heard people say that shit. And that's why I'm talking about it right now. Because Doc ain't playing that shit. Not today, not ever. Alright? Because the same rules can be set for my other brethren of other different races and cultural backgrounds. Shit can be true for y'all too. We could flip that narrative and say it real, but right in front of your face. How many of them have you seen run away from their Filipino babies? Let me say that one more time. How many of you have heard of a story about these fathers allegedly running away from their responsibilities as fathers in the Philippines, probably still in the Philippines as we speak, or has abandoned their children, send them a couple hundred pesos a month and call themselves being a fucking father? If they do that. Sometimes it's just hell. Charge it to the game and you done and you out. Everybody wants to believe that it's the black man doing shit like that, right? Everybody wants to believe, hey, this the black man's over here leaving illegitimate babies behind this shit. I said every race participates, man. And I don't like the idea that it seems to be us that seem to be catching the back end of that shit. So I've chosen to debate and talk about this from this particular standpoint. I'm not in it to get into it for the long haul. I'm just being honest with you, bro. This is my life and this is my truth. I have had a fantastic experience and learned a lot from all of the potential father figures in my life. There's many, but none of them more important than my own father. None of them more important than my OG. I got my mentor who helps me through investment and shit. He's kind of taking me under his wing. You know what I'm saying? Little brother approach. Because he's known me since we were in Okinawa too. So he's known me for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Him and my brother the same age. And although my father taught me how to save, my mentor taught me how to invest, you dig? Especially when it comes to stocks. I mean, I ain't gotta get up on my real estate game a little bit, but my mentor taught me how to invest. My father taught me how to save. So again, ladies and gentlemen, just wanted to get that out there. I don't know where this topic was going. This shit was hella random. But this is my truth, man. Happy Father's Day. I don't want it to be a Debbie Downer video, but kind of mad that, there's just a bad rap surrounding fathers that are African American. Trust me, I can name the fathers right now that I know are dads that are pretty much in their kids' lives. Shout out to my man, Mr. Smith. Shout out to my man, Jay, the Black American expat. Raw TV Rob. Shout out to... it's a bunch of them, man, and I'm sorry that I didn't get them all. But shout out to all of my fathers, period. My man, Trekker Dub, I know he's a dad. I met my boy in person. Shout out to all my fathers out there. That's all I wanted to say, man. I ain't trying to get into listing out all the names. My man, Artie Mack, a man, a father of 5. Y'all got a lot of babies out there. But yeah, man, just wanted to have that talk, man. I don't know where this video was going. I just wanted to say I want to erase that narrative, especially as it becomes to fathers of half-breed babies, Filipino children. Gotta erase that narrative, or at least change it. You dig? Doc is out.